AIDS for me is truly a wake-up call. Physically, it made me take care of myself. I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I stopped doing drugs, because I knew I would die if I continued that way. It made me very aware of my body, you know. And then that's the physical component. The spiritual dimension of what AIDS has done for me has really put me in touch with my center, my higher power, or whatever you want to call it. It works, it's powerful, you know. And then emotionally, after all the depression and all the suicide and all the initial heartbreak of losing people you love, it's made me stronger. I think you need to wake up with a positive attitude, clear your mind, and basically acknowledge that you're alive and you're well. All of this is to center me for the day, because when you leave that little area that you live in, you have to deal with out there. You have to constantly be reminded you have AIDS, be reminded that you're sick, you're ill. So if you walk out of the house thinking, I'm not well, I'm fine, I feel good. So my meditation enables me to maintain that. Actually, I practice Qigong, which is a form of Tai Chi, as well as Tai Chi, on different days. You shouldn't do them all too close together. So Qigong, which is a form of Tai Chi, and yoga. Yoga, which is very strenuous. It is hard, so I don't do as much yoga as I really feel I should. I have my herbs, I have my teas, which I make in advance, so they're ready in the refrigerator. And that I will warm up, and that is prescribed to me by my Chinese doctor. And, you know, I go through the necessary preparation of them, and so I store them. And then I add my own little things to them. I currently am cleansing my liver, so I'm working with products that are powdered form, and I add them to his tea, as well as a T-cell builder, a thymus builder, basically. I mean, it's a composite thing. You know, you have to keep your mind in shape, you have to keep your body and parts of your body in shape, and spiritually as well. I in deep prayer most of the day, you know, and not only for myself, but my friends.
I've seen people trying to do something at the very last moment out of desperation. I don't think that works. You have to do it out of love, out of concern, with intelligence and with knowledge, not out of the desperation of fear, because it's not going to work. You're going to be cramming all this stuff into you, and you're not going to accomplish anything.
I decided to go raw, eat raw foods and vegetables. When I stopped smoking marijuana, I stopped drinking double espressos for breakfast and three cups of coffee all during the day. I stopped drinking soda. I stopped smoking cigarettes. And what I discovered is my body started manifesting a detoxification, which, because of my HIV status, would have been determined as being Kaposi sarcoma. I started breaking out in lesions. I had the shingles across my chest and my back. People urged me to go to take acyclovir. I said no. I think this natural hygiene, from what I know about vegetarianism and natural hygiene, and especially, I believe I'm going through a detoxification process.
I ate terrible things. I ate, you know, meat and dairy and junk food, a lot of sweets, cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, everything. And all of that's gone.
I experimented a lot, and the hardest one was alcohol, but I think I would still certainly be an alcoholic if I didn't have this kick in the pants.
I actually got my diagnosis 2 months after I had gotten out of rehab, so I was really glad I had a strong vessel to work with. That is very, very important. I mean, no treatment, alternative treatment, is really effective. Like, acupuncture won't work at all if you're drinking, if you're smoking, if you just don't have proper nutrition. The first step you have to do is cleanse. You have to purge and clean, and it's a big process. It's a difficult process, and you get sicker before you get better. That's a lot of the issue with macrobiotics. A lot of people don't like it. They can't eat that way. It makes them sick. Well, it doesn't make them sick. They're already sick. It's just purging it out. It's stored in your fat cells. It's just in your body. So that's step one, is cleansing.
What is usually being served and recommended to people with HIV is exactly the food that is making the rest of America very sick. Only they're urging us to eat more of it. My question is, how can the food that isn't good for anyone else be good for people with HIV?
People with renal failure were given high-protein diets. People with diabetes were given chocolate-covered brownies as comfort food, because this whole death cult, what I'd like to call it, is based on the fact that if you are diagnosed positive, you are going to die. So the best we can do for you is make things easy for you before you are going to die.
One of the things I'm trying to do with my work, teaching people about healthy food, is make people aware of resources where they can access organic vegetarian food that will help to support the immune system. I'm lucky to live near a food co-op, and I really love to go there and shop and take advantage of all these beautiful fruits and vegetables.
I do watch what I eat, and I eat a balanced diet. I take a multivitamin, I take a lot of vitamin C, I take a lot of beta-carotene, a lot of antioxidants. I take super blue-green algae.
It's not really my style or their style, it's the way. It is the proper way to eat. And I mean, as we evolve as a race into some more passive place, it has to be reflected in our diet. Meat makes you aggressive. It just does. You have to take my word for that. And you know, an aggressive diet of sugar and salt and oil and dairy and animal products is not healthy. We've seen that. Cancer, it's not AIDS, cancer is the #1 killer.
So I started making changes in my diet. I started exercising, and I started researching different exercises and different things I put into my body. And I come away with that anything that is natural, anything that fits in a natural order, to me, is more beneficial than anything that they can come up with in the laboratory, like these drugs like AZT and DDI and so forth and so on.
What I went back to was the traditional Southern Italian diet of fresh fruits and vegetables. And I went to a meeting once, and I heard a man speak named Matthew Grace, and he gave a seminar on natural hygiene. And I found out it's what my family has been practicing all along. Fresh, clean, homegrown vegetables. My grandfather built a house out in Amagansett made of cinder block, and he used to take fish from the sea and use it as fertilizer, just as the Indians did. So it was fresh, clean air, fresh, simple vegetables. Nothing complex.
We see food as being part of our healing modality. So if I'm getting the beta-carotene and I'm eating the cruciferous vegetables and I'm getting the calcium, I may have to supplement, but I'm not going to be supplementing in the same way, and I'm not going to be taking the same kind of medications. So I think there are a lot of ramifications for the cost of this meal.
Almost immediately upon doing several different therapies, including the intravenous vitamin drips, the colloidal silver, and also bitter melon extract and garlic enemas, I started feeling much better. I discontinued certain drugs that I found were making me nauseous as well. My appetite just swung into action. I started eating much better, eating healthy foods, of course, a lot of raw foods, a lot of whole foods.
I started doing smart things as I went along. I started doing wheatgrass juice and vitamin C drip, and I went for chiropractic care. I did yoga, and I started taking Tagamet and Antabuse and Naltrexone, and I was lucky enough never to have taken AZT or DDI or DDC, and I threw away all the aerosols, and I first got sick in '85. I'm still here.
I take IV vitamin C. A lot of doctors don't encourage it because the FDA doesn't approve it. I thought I was giving vitamin C drip IV too much power during the summer. I didn't take it during this last summer, and I got a bronchial infection. And then the year before that, I didn't take it, and I got another bronchial infection, so it wasn't just a coincidence. I used to break out in herpes a lot before I took vitamin C IV drip. I don't anymore.